Lumberjack football is on the air. Our pregame coverage begins with Cadence Bank Pregame Show on the Lumberjack Sports Network, presented by Learfield. Cadence Bank, proud sponsor of SFA Athletics. Opportunity lives here. The Cadence Bank Pregame Show is also brought to you by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, protecting Texans since 1952. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light, it's for the fans. Hightower, Franklin and James, the official personal injury sponsor of SFA Athletics. And by Pilgrims Nacogdoches, proud partner of SFA Athletics. The Cadence Bank Pregame Show brings you an in-depth look at tonight's matchup, highlights and scores from around the conference and the country, and an exclusive conversation with head coach Kobe Carthel. Here's Chase Merrill.
It's a former conference foe face-off for week number 2. Welcome in, everybody, to the Cadence Pregame Show. My name is Chase Merrill, and thank you for joining me on the Lumberjack Sports Network this evening as your Lumberjacks from Stephen F. Austin State University make their way out to Abilene, Texas, here in Wildcat country as the Lumberjacks look to face off against the Wildcats of Abilene Christian University. Once again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in, and we are right around 30 minutes away from kickoff, 30 minutes away from another Lumberjack football game here, kicking off things for week 2. Fun-filled environment going on here at Wildcat Field, or Wildcat Stadium at Anthony Field. We've got tons of festivities and activities going on across the way. Plenty of people out there tailgating, got tents set up, the Greek life going on. I see a Buffalo Wild Wings tent all set up. Beautiful stadium, beautiful press box, and it is a great day for some college football. Once again, we are here at the beautiful Wildcat Stadium on the campus of Abilene Christian University. And it's always a great day for college football. Right now, it's partly cloudy. Looks like the clouds are actually clearing out just a little bit, which is nice. But right now, I think we're in the lower 80s, upper 70s, 5 to 10 mile an hour winds flowing northeast. So flags are definitely flying a little bit above the Wessel scoreboard, flying northeast. So it'll be interesting to see if that has any effect on the game at all. But right now, we are getting all set up. Abilene Christian on the field, getting their warm-ups in. Jacks were on it, just left, actually. But let's take a look at the previous game between these two teams, or just the previous games in general. The Jacks coming in. This game holding on to that number 25 ranking spot in the Stats Perform poll and sits at number 23 in the Coaches Show ranking. They come into Abilene with a loss against an FBS Big 12 opponent in the Cougars of Houston, losing 27-0. The Jacks had some great stops in that game. I believe they forced 7 punts against the University of Houston, but it was ultimately that Big 12 defense in the University of Houston that would not allow that Jacks offense to settle in as the Jacks are held scoreless. Meanwhile, Abilene Christian comes in off an FBS loss as well against Tulsa in the Golden Hurricane. They come into this game ranked 16th in the Stats Perform FCS Top 25 and 17th in the AFCA FCS Coaches Poll. ACU would have some chances to put points on the board early in that game, but they were stuffed on a pair of 4th and goal situations in the first quarter. Had ACU converted in that matchup, we're talking about a completely different ball game in Tulsa. But instead, ACU trails Tulsa 14-0 at halftime, marking the first time in Keith Patterson 37-game era that ACU was shut out in the first half. ACU would go on to find its lone touchdown in that matchup in the fourth quarter, making it 4th and 2 from 11 yards out from goal. ACU would end up losing that game 35-7. Last season, the Jacks went 7-5, 2-4 on the road, but they will look to definitely pick up a win here in Abilene Christian as they are so far 0-1 on the season, 0-1 on the road as well. But these two teams, if we take a deep dive into it, have a rich history, have a great rivalry, and it'll be nothing less than spectacular here today. These two teams, plenty of history. This will be the 27th meeting between these two teams. The Battle of Purple. SFA leads the all-time series 14-12 and they have faced each other each season, every season since 2014. If we take a look at some of the most recent matchups, you can see why this game should always be marked on someone's calendar. In the Colby Carthel era alone, the Jackson Cats have matched up in some thrillers. SFA took down a top 12 ranked ACU squad in last season's finale. To avenge a 7-point defeat the Wildcats had won in 2023. 3 matchups prior to that, SFA averaged over 35 points per game, with a pair of 3-point wins during an in-season home-and-home with ACU in 2022. The Jacks won on October 8th in Nacogdoches meeting. In that meeting, it was the leg of Chris Campos who would win that game for the Jacks on a 51-yard field goal to win that matchup. While the November 19th season finale gave the Jacks the Western Athletic Conference title after Campos cut the fourth quarter deficit to 21-16 with a 46-yard field goal. And then it would set up Trey Self to run for 12 yards and a successful 2-point try in under 3 minutes that allowed the Jacks to never look back in that game, and they ended up winning that matchup. 2020, the Jacks outlasted ACU in overtime, winning 35-32 at Globe Life Park. However, in Carthel's first season with the Lumberjacks, ACU held off SFA in a double OT win, forcing a 31-24 win for the Abilene Christian Wildcats. 8 of the last 12 meetings have been decided by one score, with each side taking 4 of those down to the wire ball game. So, guys, when I tell you this is going to be a close matchup, a tight matchup, we're looking at the exact same thing. Both teams come in ranked in the FCS. It will be Coach Carthel, I talked about it. It will be the person that comes down to it in the fourth quarter. He thinks it's going to be just a really tight game. We were able to sit down and talk to him. He'll have more to say here in just a few moments. But Coach Carthel, like I said, we had the opportunity to sit down with him. Coach Carthel comes into his 7th season with the Lumberjacks, where he previously spent some time at Texas A&M Commerce, also known as East Texas A&M now. But he has over 80 wins as a head coach and has won multiple Coach of the Year awards. And it doesn't stop there. Coach Carthel has even had some time here at Abilene Christian University. So maybe a little bit more on the table for Coach Carthel as he's coming into some history of his own. Spent some time here as a defensive line coordinator. Coach Carthel having his hands full, but we always know he is up for any type of task. Meanwhile, across the way, Keith Patterson, the head coach of the Abilene Wildcats, entering his 4th year. And he's not shy to his own accolades. He won the 2022 WAC Coach of the Year for the Western Athletic Conference. He was also the 2024 UAC Coach of the Year, 2024 UAC Champions, 2-time finalist for the FCS Coach of the Year Award, which is also known as the Eddie Robinson Award. He has 28 all-conference players, 5 All-Americans. But when you look at the record, he is 1-2 against the Lumberjacks. He'll be looking to even that up today, but if the Lumberjacks have anything to say about it, they won't agree. They'll look to try to make that record 1-3, but that will take us into today's matchup. The matchup between these two teams, nothing less than exhilarating, and it marks as the first time ACU has not had to travel to Nacogdoches since 2022. It's a top FCS matchup, a heated rivalry between these two teams that goes all the way back to the 1970s. Sam Vidlac will come in with a little bit of a chip on not only his shoulder, but this team, as he will look to guide the offense to not only their first score of the season, but their first win. Vidlac is coming off a great 2024 campaign where he would play in 9 games, throw for over 2,000 yards, and have a completion percentage over 67%. Unfortunately, it was all cut short when he would be ruled out for the season due to injury. He was a Walter Payton Award finalist, Southland Conference Newcomer of the Year, and finished on the All-Southland Conference second team, offensive team. And Vidlac against Houston would go 13 of 26 for 52 yards and 1 interception. So he'll be looking to get a little bit back on track here tonight against Abilene Christian. Meanwhile, across the way, Stone Earl, the quarterback for the Wildcats, started his career out. He's had a little bit of a journey. He started his career out here in Abilene back in 2020. He would then play with them through the 2021 season before he decided to make the move and enter the transfer portal. The 6'3", 215-pound, now redshirt senior from Fort Worth, Texas, would spend his next 2 seasons at the University of North Texas. And then for the 2024 year, after North Texas would also enter the transfer portal again and would go out to Marshall. And then in the 2024 campaign, he would ultimately come back to Abilene Christian this year, where he's looking to guide his team to their first win of the season here in their home opener. Last year with Marshall, he would carry the ball more times than any other season in his career. He would end up carrying the ball 57 times for 207 yards. And last week, with Tulsa, he would end up going 13 for 19 for 140 yards with 1 interception. He would also spend most of the time scrambling, as he would rush 17 times for 47 yards and a touchdown, but was sacked an overall 5 times. Last year, that has nothing to do with how he played last year. Last year with Marshall, he ended up throwing for 673 yards on a 54.2 completion percentage. So we hear a lot of praise about Stone Earl from this Wildcats offense, as well as from Coach Carthel. He had talked a little bit about Stone Earl and his history with him, and so plenty to talk about with this Wildcat offense, Wildcat defense. Coach Carthel had mentioned it all, wanted to talk about it all, and that's all coming up next in the Cadence pregame show. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll have Coach Carthel coming up next. You're listening to the Cadence pregame show and Lumberjack football on the Lumberjack Sports Network from Learfield.
Pilgrim's Nacogdoches is hiring with pay up to $21.60 per hour if you work all your scheduled hours. No experience necessary. Pilgrim's offers on-the-job training, overtime opportunities, extra pay for night shift, and full benefits packages for all employees. Apply in person at Pilgrim's in Nacogdoches, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or online at pilgrims.com. Pilgrim's Nacogdoches has immediate openings and wants to talk to you.
Hey, college football fans, I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fan section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Brookshire Brothers, we've got everything on your grocery list, from sweet and salty snacks to quality hand-cut meat selections. And even items on your list like
extra discounts for Celebrate Rewards members? Sold.
Or if your list includes
brown bags of hope donations to our local communities so we can help our neighbors in need.
That's right. Helping neighbors is what we do best. Your list can even have things like
friendly employees who make grocery shopping, dare I say, fun?
Yup. If it's on your list, it's on ours too. Especially when it comes to the things you value, like your community. That's why our list has
a company that gives employees a piece of the pie as co-owners. Oh, that reminds me. We need pie.
And don't forget the ice cream. Find community and quality right here at Brookshire Brothers, where value's in the bag.
It's 6:30 and the branch is closed.
Yep.
And you couldn't find your debit card.
Nope.
But you're going to get cash.
Yep. Cadence Bank Live Teller has extended hours, and I can get cash from my account with my driver's license.
My bank can't do that.
Nope.
With over 300 Live Teller locations with extended hours, there's opportunity here. Find a Live Teller near you at cadencebank.com/Live Teller. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
Come to Freddy's for sizzling steak burgers, grilled fresh to order, paired with our crispy, crunchy shoestring fries, seasoned with Freddy's famous fry seasoning. Top that off with a signature turtle sundae made with a rich, creamy, and freshly churned frozen custard for the full Freddy's experience. Order today on the Freddy's app, online at Freddy's.com, or visit a Freddy's location near you.
The Cadence Bank pregame show continues on the Lumberjack Sports Network, presented by Learfield. Time now to go one-on-one with the head coach of the Lumberjacks, Kobe Carthel. With Coach, here's Chase Merrill.